Would you believe me if I told you that right now there is opioids sold on the market at gas stations for people over 21 years old to buy? Because there is. Let me talk to you about a little thing called kratom. Kratom is a leaf that comes from a tree in Southeast Asia. It was originally used by field workers and farmers who had chronic muscle and back pain, and they would munch on the tree leaves and they noticed that they would start to feel some relief throughout their body. Now, over time, they were harvested and used medicinally. Now, as of present day, that leaf has been extracted into its most potent qualities and into a little drink or pill or whatever form they want to sell it in. The most popular brand on the market right now is called Feel Free. They are probably one of the biggest advocates for kratom that I have found thus far in my research. Promoters of kratom claim endless health benefits. They say it boosts your mood, your energy, stress relief, anxiety relief, helps with sleep, helps with chronic pain. At one point, they even claimed for it to be a good alcohol alternative. They tried many different types of advertising over time. But of course, their most effective marketing strategy is the one that caters to almost every American. Well, it's not just a stress relief and an energy boost. It is similar to an opioid. Now, it has not been officially classified as an opioid. However, according to the FDA and the DEA, kratom contains two major psychoactive drug components, mitragynine and 7-OH. These substances, when ingested, interact with your opioid receptors, causing similar effects to opioids, having the exact same addictive properties. And if you're wondering how they're getting away with this, the FDA actually does not approve products until they are released out on the market. The FDA cannot restrict their sales, but they can verify what they're saying on the bottle. The brand Feel Free and other kratom brands are continually arguing that the drug 7-OH and kratom are not one and the same, which the FDA has said multiple times to not be true. Feel Free continues to push a transparency agenda on their website by posting pictures of how their labels have changed over time. But what I find humorous to me is that they actually have taken down a picture that they used to have. This is no longer on their website anymore. However, as you can see, they are trying to build this trust with their customers, showing how they put more warnings on the bottle, made more specifications over ingredients, put things like consume responsibly. In addition to that, the Mayo Clinic says that some studies found that some kratom sellers add more of the active ingredient than kratom naturally has. Because kratom lacks clear labels, it's not possible to know how much kratom people who use take it. And what that's also saying, it's almost impossible to know how much is in each bottle. Because it is not regulated, it is hard to know and make sure that every bottle is the same. And if you're still not convinced, just a couple days ago, the National Poison Data reported that the amount of kratom-related reports has increased by 1,200% since 2015 and is continuing to rise. On top of that, there are some states that have already taken the liberty to ban kratom on their own. For example, California. The California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control and the California Department of Public Health both agreed on the removal of kratom products. Kratom is now illegal to both manufacture and sell in the state of California. Because of the way that these products interact with our opioid receptors, it poses a huge risk for overdose when mixed with other substances. One of the only reasons this product has been able to stay on the market for so long is because it is not inherently deadly by itself. However, it has caused so many overdoses due to its deadly combinations with other substances. There's constantly updates about kratom, constant news stories every single day, and there is still new information being found out about kratom because it's still an uncharted territory. And that's the reason it's such a terrifying drug. The most concerning part of these products is that they try and present themselves as an all-natural dietary supplement to be taken every single day, when really they're a psychoactive drug that could even impair our ability to drive or work when it barely says anything about that on their website or bottles. The last thing I will leave you with was to let you know that when I went to Florida, I saw Kratom advertised everywhere. And when I was on the way to the airport, I asked my parents if we could stop at a gas station and go in and see if they would let me buy it. And to my surprise, it's terrifying. I emptied the bottle, but I kept it. Mostly because they have made so many changes to the label. I'm glad I have one of the original. This product contains leaf kratom, which, like caffeine and alcohol, can become habit-forming and harmful for your health if consumed responsibly. If you look on the website now, it now says it may be habit-forming like nicotine or alcohol. Feel free, using the word habit-forming is really just their way of dancing around the word addictive. I would also like to point out that on the bottle, it directly says that there's 20 milligrams of mitragynine, and it says less than 0.5 milligrams of 7-OH, which is more than they said on their website as of recent updates. And if that doesn't say anything to you about whether you should trust these companies or not, I don't know what does.